So, Kato, what does content optimization mean today, and how do you take it?
Well, Alina, for me, content optimization means creating valuable and relevant content. That's content that satisfies user intent and ranks well on search engines. I believe it's about aligning your content with user needs and search algorithms.
Right. And talking about that, what do you think are the most common mistakes that you've seen marketers or other content writers making when they optimize content for SEO?
For newbie marketers, some of the most common mistakes I've seen are keyword stuffing, like putting too many keywords in a post hoping to rank better, and ignoring user intent. We create content for our users, not for search engines. So when you ignore search intent, that's a huge mistake you're making with your content. Another mistake I found marketers making is neglecting readability. Your content should be easy to read, scannable, and users should be able to skim through it and understand what you're talking about in your piece of content. Others include poor internal linking and not updating outdated content.
You've mentioned that often writers neglect to write for other humans. So, how do you strike the right balance between optimizing for search engines and writing for humans?
I like to focus on providing genuine value to my audience first. I believe that's the first key to creating content that's optimized. I also integrate keywords naturally, and that word naturally is very important. Incorporating them the way you would as you are talking. And then some other ways are to ensure readability, and then you structure your content logically. That way, it's easy for users to follow what you are talking about in your piece of content. Search engines reward content that humans love. That's because if someone stays longer on your piece of content, search engines will know that this is a valuable piece of content. And in the day of AI, formatting for readability also helps you get cited by AI platforms and other LLMs.
So, Kato, you've mentioned a couple of things about structuring content around, and I want to ask you, what on-page elements do you think carry the most weight in content optimization, in your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, Elena, the most important on-page element is the content itself. It must be high-quality content that offers value. And then the other elements come in to support that. And these elements are title tags, meta descriptions, heading tags, strategic linking, image alt text, and URL structure. And to be honest with you, most of these can easily be done using SEOBoost in my workflow. Because I found that it helps me structure my content logically, and it helps me make sure that the meta descriptions are there, heading tag distribution is proper and sound and solid. So yeah, those are my most important on-page elements. High quality content first.
Right. So, if high quality content is the most important, how often do you think brands should revisit and update their existing content for optimization?
Well, I think it all depends on the piece of content, but I would advise you to optimize your existing content regularly, at least quarterly, or when new information, trends, or keyword opportunities emerge. Evergreen content may require less frequent updates, but competitive topics often necessitate more attention. And in the fast-paced world that we're living in today, if your piece of content is not as optimized as the latest piece of content, you fall back. So it's always best to optimize as often as that piece of content requires.
Are there any tools or workflows that you rely on to ensure that your content is fully optimized before publishing?
Yep, definitely. You can't do it without any tools. And I used to rely on many tools and jump between so many tools, but SEOBoost has replaced many of them as it's a full suite content management platform. I mean, it helps me with topic research, creating content briefs, content optimization, I mean, and a whole lot more. I can do so much in that one platform than I couldn't with maybe 5, 6 other platforms jumping between them. I find a keyword that I want to create a topic on, or maybe optimize an existing piece of content. I plug it into SEOBoost, and it gives me, it pulls the top ranking pages from the first page, analyzes them, and gives me the winning keywords in there and some other headings and other stuff that I can use to optimize my piece of content. And from the topic research, I also get like keywords, phrases that I can incorporate into my content. The good thing about the good thing I love about SEOBoost is that from there I can also add the elements that I like into a content brief. So if I'm writing the piece of content, if I'm passing it on to someone else, this content brief helps me or the other writer to know exactly what I want to put in that piece of content. And that becomes super easy to create the exact piece of content that is targeting my SEO goals. So those are my first two, the first 2 ways I use SEOBoost in my workflow. But one thing I need to emphasize about SEOBoost also is that I love using it for optimizing existing content. I mean, this is, for me, this is where it's a true game changer. I just input the URL that I want to optimize, and boom, SEOBoost gives me tips on how I can make that piece of content stronger, solid, more engaging. And most of the times I found that once I implement the recommendations, that piece of content will start ranking better in 1 or 2 days from the time that I republish it. So yeah, that's SEOBoost for you.